Our friend Ken Decoster is here from CrimeStoppers and the Sheriff's Office. How are you?
Riley, I'm great. Thank you for your time. How you doing?
I have nothing to complain about. What do you have?
Well, first of all, I want to salute a citizen who was very helpful to police over the weekend, and this is from the Rockford Register-Star. Reporter Chris Green tells us an observant woman helped police locate a gunman wanted on warrants. About 3:45 p.m. Super Bowl Sunday, Rockford police officers were sent to the Walgreens at 1602 Kishwaukee on a report of a man with a gun. The officer spoke with a woman who said a man driving a silver GMC pickup pointed a handgun at her and her boyfriend. She provided police with the pickup's license plate number. The vehicle returned to Bruno Escamilla, who actually we've run on CrimeStoppers before. He's 27 from McChesney Park. Police later learned Escamilla was wanted on 2 Winnebago County warrants. While speaking with the victim, other officers conducted a neighborhood search and found the pickup unoccupied and parked in the 1600 block of 9th Street. Officers set up surveillance, and a short time later, Escamilla approached the truck. He was arrested by police and was found to be in possession of a handgun. Officers later learned the handgun was reported stolen out of Rockford.
Great.
Escamilla was charged with the following offenses: aggravated unlawful use of a weapon by a felon, possession of a stolen firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm, and no firearm owner's identification card. He was also wanted on Winnebago County warrants for burglary and failure to appear. He's being held in the jail on $300,000 bond.
Hard to believe he didn't go through the trouble of getting that FOID card.
Now, if I'm wanted by police...
Yeah, me too.
I'm guessing I'm not going to pull a gun on some woman and her boyfriend in the parking lot of a Walgreens.
No,
but
I would try to low profile it if I could. And somehow pointing a gun at someone really for no apparent reason is enough to get their attention.
But kudos to this woman who got a hold of police and gave them a description of this pickup truck and the license plate number that helped them get this guy.
A lot of times I don't want to get involved, or I got so freaked out I couldn't tell you the make and model or anything else other than I saw a gun, and that's pretty much where my tunnel vision took me. Good for her.
Nice
job.
Well
done.
Nice job. Couple of scams to talk about this morning, Riley. This is from Channel 13. A local business wants to warn State Line residents about a possible telephone scam going on right now that they've been caught up in. Lou Back Road Auto Mall General Manager George Schaffner says customers have informed them that a charity called Foundation for American Veterans has been calling Lou Back Road customers saying they are partnering with the car dealer and asking for money. Schaffner says they do not have a partnership with Foundation for American Veterans. He says the number that comes up on caller ID is 815-255-8090, and it says Lou Back Road VW. He says when they have called the number back, no one answers. Schaffner says this has happened in the past, about 6 months ago. They're in the process of getting a legal injunction served to the organization. He advises those who get called to not pledge any money since Lou Back Road is not involved in any way. The Better Business Bureau has a warning out about Foundation for American Veterans. The BBB says that phone solicitors for the Michigan-based charity tried to pressure and mislead people into making donations. They also say they received many complaints about the organization and their pushy tactics.
Charity Navigator, by the way, which is a great website to go to if you want to check the viability of anybody who's asking for your money. They rate them, and then they show you how much of the money you give goes to the cause that you want. They give them an F because over 90% of their money is kept.
Thank you. And I was about to make that point that this organization does indeed have an F rating, and about 90% of the money Foundation for American Veterans brings in goes toward things like overhead, salaries, and fundraising.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know. So you're not getting any help to the people you want to help when you contribute to them.
The Rochelle Post Office reports a possible email scam that's being sent to people in the community. Post Office officials say a number of people have reported receiving emails claiming to be from the U.S. Post Office. The emails are regarding a missing package delivery and contain a link. In one instance, post office officials say someone clicked on the link and it caused their computer to lock up. The emails are coming from an email address using at USPS.com. Any email that comes directly from the United States Post Office will always come from an email address using at USPS.gov.
Yeah.
The Rochelle Post Office says any email coming from the U.S. Post Office will not require you to click on a link.
Yeah, you get that. It's a ransomware in some cases. Your computer locks up, and then send us some money, and we'll unlock that for you.
Riley, I do want to salute the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department this past week. It was a very productive week, and I'll just briefly recap a press release that was sent out last Thursday. This past Wednesday, the Sheriff's Department Narcotics Unit and TAC team were conducting surveillance of drug sales occurring in the 3100 block of 11th Street. A couple of deputies attempted to make an arrest, and two suspects fled. One of the suspects was captured. The second was not located. Deputies identified the second suspect and will obtain a warrant at a later date. The deputies recovered 1.8 grams of heroin, 3 grams of crack cocaine, and 2 stolen 9mm handguns. One gun was stolen from McChesney Park, the other out of Twin Falls, Idaho. The following individual was arrested, charged, and lodged in the Winnebago County Jail. Keon K. Winford, 23 years old of Rockford. He is charged with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon by a felon and possession of a stolen firearm. Also on Wednesday of last week, the Sheriff's Department Narcotics Unit and TAC team were conducting surveillance of drug sales occurring in the 1200 block of East State. Deputies stopped and arrested an individual that recovered 2.8 grams of heroin, 3.9 grams of crack cocaine. Charles C. Stallworth, 23 years old, is charged with unlawful delivery of heroin within 1,000 feet of a church. I often think about selling heroin close to a church.
Yeah. I usually have a tape measure. Just get me past that 1,000 feet.
Before you go in and worship, how about a little heroin?
Yeah, this will get you right through things. Wow.
Possession with intent to deliver cocaine, possession with intent to deliver heroin within 1,000 feet of a church. Finally, Riley, we're looking for the following 4 individuals. Ty Bressler, 36-year-old white male, 6'3", 200 pounds. He's wanted for aggravated DUI. 18-year-old Tyrone Anderson is a black male, 5'7", 180. He's charged with aggravated battery. 22-year-old Jonathan Gantz, Gantz, a white man, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. He's wanted for failure to register as a sex offender. And finally, 38-year-old Marshall Rains is a black male, 5'6", 155. He is wanted for aggravated battery. If you have any idea where any of these guys are located, give us a call at CrimeStoppers, 815-963-7867, or call us toll-free at 888-769-STOP. And if you give us valid information, you can be eligible for a cash reward of up to $1,000.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. And go to rockfordcrimestoppers.com as well to find out more on that. Get a look at some of the people Ken talked about. As long as you're throwing kudos out to the Sheriff's Department, I want to throw one out myself. Last night, it was really foggy last night.
Yes, it was.
Amy and I were out on our way home. At about 8:30, we were on Mulford, southbound on Mulford, north of Guilford.
Sure.
So between Spring Creek and Guilford is where we were on Mulford, southbound.
Right.
We're in the right-hand lane. There is somebody over in the left-hand lane who is going at least 12 miles or more below the speed limit and kind of having trouble holding it in their lane. Came over and nearly plowed into us on the side, hit us on the side, crossed the lane, came back over, gunned it, slowed back down, swerved back over, and I wasn't driving, Amy was, but we're watching this. And I'm like, wouldn't it be great if a cop were here to see this? The word "this" came out of my mouth, and red lights lit up behind us, and it was a Winnebago County Sheriff's deputy who pulled that car over right there, right then. And I don't know where anything went from there. I don't know what was causing the swerving, distracted, obviously, whether it was you've been drinking, you've been smoking, or you're texting, or whatever you're doing. Mm-hmm. But thank you to the Winnebago County Sheriff's deputy for taking somebody down who was a real menace to traffic, and it wasn't going to be long before it was worse, because they were really having trouble holding it into their lane.
I'll check this out because we have a daily bulletin as to what transpired in terms of law enforcement activity in the last 24 hours. You said about 7:45?
About 8:30,
about
8:30, 8:40, something along those lines last night. And, you know, how many times have you found yourself going, man, I wish a cop were here to see this? Well, that's exactly what I said. And there was a cop there to see it.
Very nice.
And took care of business right then and there. So
very, very nice.
As somebody out driving, I appreciate that. And I know it's tough work out there for them, and I appreciate all they do. And I appreciate what you do, too. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for the time, Ralph.